I want to talk about something today that has always been central to me in terms of success, and that's confidence. You can have success, but truthfully, if you don't have confidence, then you're not enjoying life. You're not enjoying what you're achieving. You're not enjoying the people around you. I mean, for me, confidence is everything. And I'll tell you why. Because confidence is nothing more than a feeling of certainty, than a feeling of control. Okay, people are very confused about what confidence is. But genuinely, it is just feeling like you are in control. You are certain of something. You're either certain of your own abilities, or you're certain about an outcome of something. You're certain about your external circumstances. It's that feeling of certainty. And without it, you can't enjoy life. Because you can't enjoy life if you're uncertain about where you're going in your future. You can't enjoy life if you're uncertain about your abilities, or let's say how attractive you are. Okay, all of these things in terms of your confidence make all the difference to the quality of your life. So what I want to teach you today is a model for breaking down exactly what components there are to confidence, so that you know where your confidence is lacking firstly, because first you've got to know where the gap is. If you're not feeling 100% confident, where's the gap? Where do I not feel confident? Once you know that, then through this model, you're going to have a strategy to change it. Okay, I know that there's a weakness there, there's a hole there, I'm going to fill that. Okay, rather than stabbing in the dark trying to work out, I don't feel totally confident, what am I going to do? You're going to know. Okay, so there's this 3-part model, okay? This is the 3 layers of confidence. And for me, this is all there is. After coaching over 2,000 people now in the area of confidence, what I've found is that most people attack confidence in one of 2 ways. They either come at it from a purely surface level, so they say, okay, this person's not confident. You get this so-called confidence coach come up and say, okay, you're not confident, so walk differently, talk differently, do this, fake it, and everything will be fine. And obviously, that's fine, but essentially you're papering over the cracks. And when someone tests that, it comes to a point where suddenly all your belief systems get exposed and that goes down the drain. The other type of coach goes down on the belief systems route. So forget all that, let's go belief systems. Okay, what do you believe about the world? What do you believe about yourself? And they go on this real central level of beliefs. But the problem is that if you go too far down that route without taking care of the external issues, then all you end up with is great belief systems but no external success. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work on this on 3 levels. The first layer is the surface layer. Now, the surface layer is everything that the world can see. Okay, so this is the way you walk. Okay, do you walk with your energy going down, where everything is kind of low energy? Or do you walk in a way where you have purpose, where you know where you're going, where you feel certain about yourself? How about the way you talk? Do you talk in a way where you're not afraid to pause? Where you're not afraid to let your voice fluctuate? Where you're not afraid to really get interesting if you need to and really hammer your point in if you need to? What is it you're doing with your voice? Because again, this makes a big difference. So many people don't use their voice in a way that communicates confidence. How about your gesturing? Again, people are very flimsy with their gesturing. They kind of hold their hands around. They don't do anything powerful. The most powerful speakers I know, you see them and every gesture is certain. And they want to look certain, and all they need to do is make a certain gesture and look a certain way. And it always works. Because on this level, on this surface level, you can fake confidence. Okay, I'll make that very clear. Because you're dealing with factors that you control. Your body, your voice, your facial expressions. We have 80 muscles in our face alone. Can you believe that? How many of them are you using? How many expressions do you play with? Confident people have a big bubble. Okay, they move around a lot. They're not afraid to be high energy. They're not worried about, well, this person's not moving their body very much, so maybe I should adapt to this person. They lead with their body language. Okay, everyone else in the room looks uncertain. That's the time to get certain. That's when they know. That's confident body language. And this is all on the surface layer. Okay, it's what the world sees. But there is a big problem with just dealing with stuff on the surface level. Okay, which brings me to my next point. And what we're going to talk about now is how to go from that surface layer to the next layer, which is the lifestyle layer. Now, the lifestyle layer is what gives the surface layer roots. Okay, because you can fake confidence on that level, but if it's not rooted in anything real, then all you're doing is feigning confidence. It's like putting whipped cream on a turd, right, to put it crudely. There's nothing real there. So what we need to do is get down to that lifestyle layer. Now, the lifestyle layer is the layer where you build competence. It's the layer where you actually do things in your life. And what I want you to imagine is that you derive confidence from a number of different sources in your life. Now, I want you to think for a second about where you choose to derive confidence from. Now, you can derive confidence from your family. You can derive confidence from your friends, from the house you live in, from the job you have, from the state of your body, from skills you know. If you learn a language, don't you have confidence there? If you learn a new language this year, don't you suddenly take on a new level of confidence because you have a new skill in your resource pack? What about if you learn a new instrument? If you learn a new instrument, again, you have a different level of resources and you derive confidence now from the fact that you know that instrument. I remember last year, or a couple of years back, I spent some time in China. While I was there, I made a big effort to learn Chinese. Now, I didn't get amazing, but I got to a point where I felt like I could handle myself. And what that meant was suddenly my confidence took another jump because it was like, wow, I know something else. You know, and I know something that maybe a lot of other people don't, and my confidence jumped. So your lifestyle layer is where you're adding your confidence. It's where you derive confidence from. And what I want you to think about is how many different sources you're deriving confidence from. Because if you only derive confidence from one source, you're in trouble. All right, you see people down the gym and they work out 5 hours a day, and then they go home and not much else happens in their life. And you know that they're deriving nearly all their confidence from the gym and from the state of their bodies. Now, that's fine in the moment, but what about when something happens and they can't work out anymore and their body shrinks down and now they can't look the same way and now they can't derive their confidence from their body anymore, but where are they going to derive it from? Or what about the big city boy or the big city woman who derives all their confidence from the fact that they earn so much money in the city, they're so proud of their job, the bonuses they get, the cars they drive, the house they have. So all their confidence revolves around the identity they get from their work. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, what happens? You know, we're this year, big recession year, right? Everything's hitting the fan. Things are getting bad. That person suddenly loses their job. And with it, they lose their identity. Because all of their confidence came from that, from their job. So now you see people, they lose their jobs. Why do they get depressed? Why do they get so miserable? In the extreme cases, how can people commit suicide when they lose their job? It's because they lose their identity. It's because once they've lost that, what's left? They stopped deriving confidence from their family a long time ago, from their body or from anything else. So now they feel like they've lost what makes them them. So what I'm going to encourage you to do on the lifestyle layer is build out the sources that you derive confidence from. If currently you say, well, I derive a lot from my friends, but you know what? My work is kind of lacking, or my body, I don't derive any confidence from that, then start to. Okay, start to build confidence in all different areas. What that means is if any one part goes wrong, you now have a backup system that snaps you back into it. It's the same with your spouse or with whatever. If you derive all your confidence from your spouse and then suddenly your spouse leaves you, you're in trouble. So make sure that you derive confidence from all different areas. But isn't there a problem, even if you've got the lifestyle layer and the surface layer? That problem is, well, I want you to imagine a big film star walking down the red carpet. Don't they have both those layers? You know, they look good, they walk in a confident way, their body language, everything on the surface says I'm ultra confident, and you know that they have so many parts of the lifestyle layer. You know that they have an amazing job, you know that they earn tons of money, they've got the cars, they've got the houses, they've got the husband, whatever. You know that they derive it from all different areas. So why then? Why can they still end up depressed or at worst suicidal? It's because they don't have the third layer. And the third layer is your core layer of confidence. Now, your core is the most important layer that you can choose to develop. And I'll tell you why. Because your core, when both of those levels leave you, your core is all that's left. You know, you get hit by a car tomorrow and you can't do any of the things that make you outwardly look confident. You can't go to your job anymore. You can't work out. You can't do any of those things on the lifestyle layer. What do you have left? Your core. And your core is built around one fundamental concept. And that is how much you love yourself. I can't stress this enough, and it's in some ways the least sexy part of the whole thing. But the truth is, once you have this layer, everything else gets easier. Because now when you go talk to that person that you really like and it doesn't go well, it doesn't matter because you have a confidence in yourself. You love yourself. You know what's good about you. When something goes wrong at work, it's the same thing. You know on a core level you love yourself. And I'm telling you, the only way to do this is you stand up in front of the mirror, you look at yourself, and you actually look at yourself in the eye and say, how much do I love this person in front of me? Because your answer to that question tells me a lot about the quality of your life. You could have everything. And you know people who have got everything. You know people who have got the cars, got the money, got everything. And yet still they find a way to get depressed. It's about being able to look in the mirror and genuinely say, that person right there in front of me is the best friend I'll ever have. And saying it honestly. And not being embarrassed. I mean, I'm going to urge you to try this, and I know immediately you're going to feel embarrassed. Like, I can't stand in front of the mirror and do this. It feels awkward. Well, in front of who? It's just you and the mirror. It's just you and you. There's no one to feel embarrassed in front of. So I'm going to ask you, get in front of the mirror and be able to tell yourself that. How much do I really love this person in front of me? Because you have to be able to say, this person here is the best teammate I'll ever have. I'll never be able to trust someone like I trust this person right here. And once you get to that place where you can genuinely say, this is the person, this is my best friend in the whole world, that's when you're truly free to love other people. That's when you're truly free to go out and do extraordinary things. Because then you become a giver rather than a taker. You don't go out into the world looking for validation, looking for other people to complete you. Now you're overflowing. Now you're in a place where you complete other people, where you're helping other people to get their confidence up. And you can only do that from a place of self-love. And this is different from arrogance or narcissism or anything like that. This is a genuine appreciation of what you do well. And how are you going to do that? Find out what's great about you. Write down, what do I appreciate about myself? And seriously do this. One of the most important exercises you'll ever do in your life. Write down, what do I love about myself? What is it about me that's better than anything else that I know? Why am I so great? I'm so generous. I'm so caring. I'm so loving. I love the way I do this. I have this great smile. Just write it down. Just outpour everything. Okay, and learn to appreciate what you actually are. Okay, and that involves really coming down on your belief systems on a core level. And once you do that, my friends, I promise you, everything else falls into place. But what I'm going to say is don't just concentrate on that level, concentrate on all three levels. Okay, so your surface, you know you can change that now, right? You know you can go out today, talk to people in a confident way. You can smile, you can gesture, you can make eye contact, you can be excited, you can really control that. Your lifestyle layer takes a bit more time. Okay, your lifestyle layer is about building up skills, building up those skills in different areas, your body. If you want to learn a language, learn a language. If you want to do something to do with an instrument, do an instrument. If you want to learn more about your work, do that. Just derive it from different areas, and that takes a bit more time. And your core level, genuinely, day by day, find more reasons to love and appreciate yourself. And this, my friends, is the hardest one to get. But once you get it, you're there. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.